Well, thank you so much for coming in, Scott. We really appreciate it. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your company, what you're doing.
Sure. Thank you, Emily. It's good to be here. Scott Buchanan. I'm the Vice President of Environmental Health and Safety for Avient Corporation. Avient is a materials solution provider, and so we focus on helping our customers solve their challenges when it comes to material science, and particularly we help them with their sustainability challenges as it relates to material science. We're a global company, have about 105 manufacturing sites all across the world. We're headquartered here in Avon Lake, Ohio.
So with that big size of a company, you definitely have an influence on a lot of suppliers, specifically a lot of small and medium-sized businesses in the Cleveland area. So can you tell me a little bit about how you're engaging with your suppliers around sustainability, and what are your plans for the future around, engaging with those suppliers?
Yeah, that's a good question. So right off the bat, as we think about our suppliers, we put together a 2030 sustainability goal focused on assessing at least 90% of our suppliers along sustainability type of metrics. And so really the idea was to make sure that there's alignment with the people that we're doing business with our own sustainability values. So we did that first. The second thing we did was to go through and create some terms and conditions that kind of echo some of the terms of engagement, as well as update our supplier code of conduct to make sure that, hey, the things that we value the most are incorporated into those contracts, and so that customers or suppliers understand what's important to us.
So what are you seeing from customers as it relates to sustainable sourcing? What topics are most critical?
Yeah. So we're definitely seeing a lot more questions and inquiries about sustainability. If you think about it, consumers are really driving a lot of this activity, and so consumers push our customers for sustainable solutions. But consumers and customers are wanting to know where their products are coming from. They want to know how they're made to make sure that they align with the consumers or customers' own ethical values. And so we're seeing this in terms of more questionnaires and surveys from customers. A lot of times they are from, platforms that we're familiar with, like EcoVadis or Integrity Next, but sometimes customers send their own surveys, homegrown. And so we're definitely seeing more questions about that to make sure that they know, where our products are coming from.
And with that, is it more important for your suppliers to be kind of on board with sustainability because of that?
That's exactly right. I mean, you think about the supply chain. We're seeing that demand from consumers to our customers and from our customers to us. So we're certainly, pushing that through to our suppliers to make sure, again, that that they're following, all types of ethical practices. They're sourcing ethically as it relates to our materials that we purchase from them. And so, we do that through our own surveys.
So you're doing the same thing to them.
We're doing the same thing. Yeah, we use the similar platforms like I mentioned. EcoVadis is a popular one, as well as Integrity Next. We also use CDP, which is a common platform that a lot of companies use to report their own sustainability information. So it's easy to do once you start it, and it's easy to respond to a customer or supplier because it's already kind of been entered in, and they can pull the data fairly easy.
Yeah, that's great. So where would you recommend small and medium businesses kind of start their journey with this?
Well, one of the most important things to recognize is this doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of time. And so it's really important to understand, and perform a materiality assessment. What's important? Who's important? So really understand, the important things as it relates to your key stakeholders. And that way you're putting the right resources on the right items. Certainly you're getting the pressure, along the supply chain from your customers. And, so we're certainly requiring our suppliers to do that. But for those companies that have not started that journey, you have to understand what's important, right? And start focusing on those type of things, and then set some ambitious targets to start down that journey.
So my last question is, where are you seeing pressure in the system for sustainable sourcing?
So we're seeing it certainly from our customers. Again, customers want to know more where their products are coming from, where they're being made, making sure that they're being, produced sustainably, and as well, from a human rights perspective. You think about all the things around the kind of social aspect of ESG. We're seeing a lot more questions from our customers around those areas. And so they're asking some real detailed questions that really pertain to things like, do you have a policy in place? And if you have a policy in place, what's the management approach to ensure that these things actually are followed? And then we're also seeing it on investors, from our ratings and rankers surveys that we get, and in terms of number of questions that we get that are related to those type of activities. And so the ES and G are certainly, we're seeing just a higher frequency of questions in those areas. So like I said, starting sooner rather than later for suppliers is going to just help them along the way.
Yeah, and that makes it a lot easier for you to procure, for you to pick suppliers if they're already on the sustainability journey.
Absolutely. If they're already on the same page, as you're more, apt to pull them in to be a supplier for you, and you're talking the same language and have the same goals.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Scott. We really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much.